Now I think we're good to record it. So, Terry Smiley from Starfish Partnerships is here to talk to us about all things chamber that many of you are familiar with, some really cool, fun updates to that program, and then some additional things that she has happening that will be great tools and resources for you guys. And then to kind of give an update for those of you who are coming to PDC on what she's going to be sharing with us. So I don't want to take up much of her time because I know she has another meeting after this. So again, thank you guys for joining us. We are recording because we have so many of our partners and chambers that come back and watch because they're not able to fit the actual time into their schedule. So with that, just let me introduce Terry, who really needs no introduction. I feel like she and Kenny are um, um, almost Alabama residents these days. You guys have been with us so much over the last couple of years, and we're excited for that. Terry is a mentor, a friend to me, someone that I've known for many years, has 30 years experience in our chamber world and is rounding out this part of her career over the next year or so, but will continue to serve in just a bigger, bolder way, all of our chambers. So with that, Terry, I'm gonna turn it over to you and I'm gonna be quiet, and we're glad to have you with us this afternoon.
Awesome. Thank you, Paige. I did want to give you a little information about All Things Chamber. I know some of you have already purchased the program. I can see you all, I think. So if you've already purchased All Things Chamber, you just kind of raise your hand. Yeah, I knew a couple of y'all had already purchased it. So I don't know if you've watched it yet. I won't call you out and ask you that yet, but it is 6 modules, and so I'm just going to kind of give you an overview of the program itself. So if you have already purchased it and you haven't, I'm going to give you some ideas of how, if you haven't watched it yet, give you some ideas of how to use that program. And if you haven't purchased it, just give you some more information about it in case you're interested in doing that. And then I'll share, as Paige said, a couple of things coming up soon with you at the end. So I was trying to see if Travis was on here. I don't think Travis is on here from South Baldwin. So I'll have to send him an email. If you get my emails, you saw where he was our winner of the survey drawing. So I spun the wheel, and so it was very fair, and he was the winner. So if y'all might tell him before I do if he hadn't read his email yet. But let's go ahead and go through the All Things Chamber program, and let me give you some information. So this was a labor of love. It is something that I wanted to do when I started Starfish Partnerships, because when I started in this crazy chamber world 30 years ago, I didn't really even know what a chamber of commerce was. I sure didn't know how to run one. And so I thought, what can I do to give back to this industry that I've loved so much and help people not feel like that, like I felt 30 years ago. So that's when I created the All Things Chamber program. It's only sold through our state association partners. So I have about 14 partners now, different states that have partnered to sell the program. And we'll talk about the price at the end, but little over half of the proceeds stays with the state association to use those funds. Okay, so we cover 6 modules, and each module has several videos. So all things governance, all things operations, membership, events and programs, community, and then the extras and lessons learned along the way. So we'll talk a little more in depth about each one. So in the all things governance, it includes governing documents, so an overview of all of these governing documents. It includes what is a chamber and what a chamber is not. I don't know about all of you, but if you have the city or the county name in your chamber, people think that you are a city or county government, and they have no idea that you're a nonprofit organization and you're responsible for raising your funds every year, right? So I think that's important to make sure that new staff understands that as well as they come on board. So I really created this so that you could use it for new staff to kind of get a broad overview of what a chamber of commerce is as well. So then we go into board role and responsibilities, board versus staff roles, the importance of clear expectations. I don't know about you all, but I don't want somebody on my board if they really can't commit. If all they can do is come to a board meeting, you know, 6 times a year or 12 times a year, however often you meet. Like I need a board member that can do more than that. So being really clear about those expectations up front. So we talk a lot about that on the video. And then we talk about committees, and that committees are really built to build capacity. Don't put just board members on committees, because then you're not bringing up new board members and building your pool of folks. And then volunteer job description. So all of that's covered under the all things governance module. I think it's broken out into 3 videos, and each video is 10 to 15 minutes long. Okay. And then all things operations. This covers employees, organization culture, job description samples, understanding employee roles and how each role fits the mission of the organization. Again, being clear about expectations and goals of staff as well. Employee handbooks, staff meetings, performance evaluations, and the importance of not waiting until there's a problem before you talk to employees. So we talk a lot about that on there. And then finance, and I actually show you a sample of a balance sheet and a budget versus actual sheet report for you to look at. And I kind of tell you some things that I point out to my exec board and board. Now, and I say that on the recordings, and I'll tell you all now, I'm not a CPA. I don't claim to be a CPA, but I've figured out what my board cares about in the financials. And I think if you point that out to them and make sure they're clear, make sure that if you're running accrual basis accounting, that the board also sees that AR number, that money that's due to you, that's already showing up as income, and just being completely and totally upfront and honest about that with your board. So I don't know if you run accrual basis or cash basis, but I do explain the difference in the video. And then membership, we cover the 3 R's: recruitment, relationships, and retention. And again, this is 3 videos. And then I have a brief overview of CRM systems. Now, I don't go into details about any of them because people use different systems, but I do tell you some issues I've had when I've tried to change systems, and some things that worked and didn't work, and promises made that weren't fulfilled, and those kinds of things to look for. And if you are looking for changing up your CRM system. And then events and programs. So under this, I talk about types of events. So we have fundraising events, membership events, then we have events we do for the community. And then there's other types of events. I talk about event management. It does include event checklist, so event planning checklist for you. And then we talk about event task force groups. So those committees that you bring in to help plan the event, pull off the event, and then wrap up the event. And then under programming, we talk about the different types of programs that a chamber might have. And then, of course, I say that there are lots of other programs that a chamber could have depending on your area. If you're Metro, you may also have a PAC, a political action committee, that would be its own separate 501c4 organization. So we just cover a lot of that here. And then we just talk about kind of programs and committees in general, and the importance of having a good mix of those in your chamber and organization. Under all things community, we talk about the importance of city, county, and state government relationships, and making sure you have those relationships with your folks, understanding your community needs. So I had a chamber tell me one time, they had contacted me about a board retreat, and they said, yeah, we can't afford that. We'll just see what so-and-so's doing, and we'll just use some of their strategic plan. I was like, well, that's not going to work, because that plan was built for their community, not for your community, right? And so understanding what your community needs are and making sure that you're addressing your community's needs, not the neighbors or, another chamber. Building strategic partnerships. Who do you need to have those partnerships with? School systems, your, again, local government, your Georgia Chamber of Commerce, the Alabama Chamber of Commerce, Paige, Carla, making sure you have all of those relationships, and you know who to call when you need something. Supporting local business, community involvement, and then the importance of your chamber peer committee. So community. So that's you all on this call. That's you go into those Alabama conferences and you meeting other chamber folks, and you having somebody to call on that gets it when you need to vent, right? Because there are those days when you just need somebody that understands, and that's not your spouse and it's not your best friend, right? They haven't ran a chamber. So you need to call some people who are in your world, and have those people to call on. And that's so important. You might have some from Alabama, you might have some from Institute, and making sure you build that peer community. And then the extra, those were the things that didn't really fit anywhere else, but I wanted to make sure I covered. Foundations, I get a lot of calls about foundations and chambers having a 501c3 foundation under your 501c6 organization. Marketing and communication, so how important that is for chambers. Measuring impact and success. So what kinds of things are you measuring? How do you know if you're successful or not? And then building resilience and sustainability, like the importance of making sure that if something like COVID happens, right, that your chamber can sustain that. And so how do you really build that resilience and sustainability, and make sure that you've got those reserves in the bank? And then I turn off all of the video, all of the PowerPoint slides, and just look at you straight in the camera and give you some lessons learned. And really, I will tell you now, like, don't compare yourself to other chambers. Um, you're not that community, right? You're not that same size, possibly. You're not that organization. And so that was a lesson I had to learn going into this work. So that's kind of an overview. I want to tell you a little bit more about it, and then I'm actually going to pull up and play a little piece just so you can kind of see the layout of how it's set up. So how to use the program, it's really limitless. I'll tell you what some people have told me about how they've used it. Some people have watched a video at a staff meeting. Now, each of the videos are around 10 to 20 minutes long. Each module is about an hour long, but there are several shorter videos in each module. So I've had chambers tell me that they've watched a video together at a staff meeting, then they've talked about it. Like, what does this mean for our organization? What do our bylaws say about how our board members are elected? What are our, when were we incorporated? Like, sometimes people want to know that. How long has your chamber been around? Some have watched the video on their own, the staff has, and then they've talked about it at a staff meeting. Some have just used it for new hires. Erin's not on this call, but Erin said that she watched it first because she wanted to see what I said before she let her staff watch it. And I don't know if you've seen her testimonial. I think I sent it to Paige and to Carla, but she sent me a whole page testimonial of what she got out of each module. She said, I wasn't really expecting to get any new information because I've been doing this business for 9 years, but I still was able to capture some ideas from the content that we could use. Again, some are just using it for new hires, just having them watch it on their own and get some information. I got the sweetest LinkedIn message. I don't know about you all, but most of my LinkedIn messages are spam. People wanting to sell me something. But I got the sweetest LinkedIn message from a new hire at Fort Myers Chamber in Florida. And she said that she had watched it and that she really enjoyed it. And part of my lessons learned at the end had made her cry, but I didn't intend for it to make you cry. Just know that going in. But just really, I was, excited to see that. And then reference for specific areas of work. So sometimes, but you don't have to go in order, right? That it's built in the order I just went over. But if you said, we just need some help with our event planning, like we just can't get it down, I feel like we're missing the boat on some sponsorships, whatever, just jump to the events module and just watch events. So you don't have to watch all of them in order. You can jump around and watch whatever you need to watch at the time, or whatever your employee might need to watch at the time. So again, it is pre-packaged, it's pre-recorded, 6 modules. Some of the modules have downloadable PDF checklists for you. All of the modules have the PDF slides downloadable as note slides so that you can take notes as you're going along. The price is only $195, and the Alabama Chamber Association keeps $100 of every sale. You buy it through the organization. You don't buy it straight from me. So you buy it through Paige and Carla, and then I invoice them for the ones that sell. So that's a little bit about the program. You get one login That's only been an issue with a couple of really large chambers who have purchased it, and they're all watching it at different times. Um, Having to go back and figure out where you left off and where you started and all that. I can create some extra logins if you have a larger staff and it's really a headache to for everybody to use the same login. So that is an option if that becomes an issue for your team. This was originally set to, it launched in January 2024 and was set to run for 2 years. I have extended this till December of 2027, so it's extended for another more than 2 years. So you'll have access to the content for that long. I am looking at adding an AI piece to the modules. It'll probably fall under the extras module, but I think it's important for chambers to think about how to incorporate AI. I know some of you on the call, and I know that you're a one-person show or one and a half or two, and so I know that using AI the right way can certainly help you in your chamber and serve as that kind of administrative assistant that you wished you had, right? So I'm thinking I'm going to add that. I don't know when it will get done, but sometime before the end of this year, I'm going to add that as an additional module. So I want to, let me just pull up now and play a little piece for y'all. I'm going to drag this over. Are y'all able to see this? Okay. So this is what it looks like when you log in. The All Things Chamber site. You'll see the modules here, just like I had mentioned to you. So you can just jump around, go to whichever one you want to go to. And I'm just going to hit resume course. I'm going to have to hit stop real quick because it's going to start on it's going to start on governance, and I don't want to play that for y'all because that's if you know me, I like to talk about fun things. Governance is important, but it's not fun to talk about. So let's play. Well, here I'll just play All Things Extra. Let's see. How about this? This is our third lesson in All Things Extra. And what we're talking about in this one is non-event, non-dues revenue. So I don't remember if I mentioned or not, when we talked about events, one of the main reasons we do events is because we need extra money. The membership investment itself isn't enough to cover running the chamber. So another way to get some income are these non-event, non-dues revenue ways that I'm going to talk to you about. And you may do some other things. I'd love to hear where in the Facebook group. So here's what we're going to talk about. Briefly, sponsorships, TRC campaigns, community magazines, volunteer membership drives, selling items, and affiliate contracts. Sponsorships. Most of you sell sponsorships to something. It might be a breakfast. It might be just your big events, your annual banquet, your golf tournaments, your race, your auction, whatever. But most of you sell at least some type of sponsorship. You might sell a sponsorship package. You might sell someone a sponsorship package where they have maybe $5,000 they can spend how they want to on different sponsorship levels. You might have people sponsor youth leadership program or adult leadership program. There are all kinds of opportunities to sell sponsorships. So my point here is just to make sure you look at what you're able to do. Don't reinvent the wheel. I'm happy to send you some information. I know that all of you will be happy to share in the Facebook group with some information on what you do with sponsorships. And what I have learned is even if I can't charge the same thing, at least I know I can charge for that. At least I know I can have a sponsorship for that type of event or for that type of meeting. So I think that's the key here is knowing that even if another chamber gets $5,000 for presenting sponsor, you might be able to get one. You might be able to get 3 or 2,500. So just think about that and don't be afraid to make the ask. Our members love exposure. They want exposure. It is a members only opportunity to be a sponsor of your chamber events. And if you've got a great turnout at your events, they would love to be in front of the attendees there. So that's all I'm going to say about sponsorships. And we can have some more conversation in the Facebook group on that. Total resource campaigns. We have done sponsorships for 28 years at the chamber. Last year, we contracted with a company to do a total resource campaign. I will tell you, it was very, very good for our chamber. We brought in more money. Now, of course, there was some expense because you pay out some incentives to your volunteers, but this is a volunteer-driven campaign. I'm going to pause it right there. I forgot that one didn't have a whole lot of slide movement to it. It's been a while since I put this together, y'all. But you can see how easily you can jump around and go to whatever you want to find out about. Okay. So that's the program. Anybody have any questions? I don't know. I saw some stuff in the chat, but I don't know if it's questions. Oh, it's people taking notes. All these note taker things. Yes. Okay. And then they put the website to purchase the program if you want to find out more about that. Does anybody have any questions about it? I thought I would give you just a couple of updates on some other things coming up. Anybody questions?
Terry, I just want to make sure, for those that are on the call that, and you mentioned this, but just to be clear that it is purchased, the owner of the package is the chamber itself. And so there's no limit on how many times it can be used within the same chamber. But each package is solely for that chamber and not to be shared with others. So just wanted to kind of make that clear. When you purchase it through us, we send Terry an email that says, hey, Mary in Huntsville has purchased it for the Huntsville Chamber, and now that login belongs to the Huntsville Chamber and can be used, as you said, for new hires or whatever purpose. Just want to make sure that, and throughout the 2 years, which is incredible that you're extending this. I think when you and I talked, it was through 26, but through 27 is incredible. So that's amazing. What a gift.
Yeah, good. Okay, so as Paige mentioned earlier, I have 30 years in this crazy chamber business. I am on a retirement contract now, and so I will be officially retiring in June of 2028, which seems like forever away, but I will. It's a very unique situation. Come find me at the conference if you want to know about the exact information on all of it. And then these are some of the services that we offer. I didn't ask Laura's permission, but I included her testimonial on here. I have loved working with Laura and her chamber through board retreat facilitation and leadership retreat. I was just over in Sylacauga a couple of weeks ago for their new leadership class retreat. A lot of fun. And so if you're needing some type of service or whatever, I would love to talk to you some more about that. You can follow us on social media. I share lots of chamber information on social media on my page, as well as just kind of generic information. Time management's one that I'm sharing a lot of information on right now. So if you struggle with procrastination or tracking your time or kind of knowing exactly how to get more done, then would love for you to follow us there. And actually, I will see y'all in October for your conference. Rick's not on the call, right?
I don't think
It's
so.
really hard for me to even think about putting the word roll in any of my stuff. But out of respect for the name of the conference, being roll with it, right? We're going to have a breakout session on rolling in the revenue. And so you Auburn people on there can appreciate my comment on rolling, right? On rolling in the revenue, that'll be a breakout session. And then on the closing keynote on time to roll, mastering the clock. How do you, what happens to all that stuff that you write down at the conference? And when you get back and you get back into the swing of things. What happens next? And then I'll have some door prizes at my booth, so be sure to stop by and see me there. And then I don't know if you want to take your phone and grab this if you didn't get it on email already. This is a time tracker. The first step in time management is figuring out where are you currently spending your time, and are there some things that you're doing that some of your staff should be doing instead. So you can grab that time tracker there if you'd like. You just need to put your email in, and you may already be getting my emails. That should not duplicate and send you two emails from me. So if you want to grab that, that's there. And then it's going to email out today with Travis being the winner of the survey, but also a membership boot camp. So we have a membership boot camp coming up in November. It will be 1:30 to 2:30 on these 3 dates, and we'll go into a lot more details. So those membership videos are about 15 minutes each video. So these sessions will be an hour each. So we'll go into a lot more in-depth information on sort of prospecting and recruitment, relationship building, and then retention strategies. And so there's the QR code, and you can find it on my website at starfishpartnerships.com. So I'm going to stop the screen share and see. I saw Brenda, you came off mute. Did you have a question?
Yeah, well, first of all, I just wanted to say roll tide. I spent a week in Auburn last week, and not only I got into it, I went over the road that plays the song 3 times, and I threw toilet paper at Jeremy. So I'm
Yeah.
listen, we can cross lines and we can be
Proof that we can
amicable.
all get along.
We can all
Yes.
get along. But I just wanted to say that I did get this program back. You know, we hired our first employee, Davis, who you guys will get to meet at PDC. I won't be there, unfortunately. It's staring. We had to change the date of our golf tournament, but he's going to get to go, and I'm glad that you guys are going to get to meet him. But I used it to help onboard him, and it was extremely valuable because flying by the seat of my pants, I was like, I can plan a lot of things, but onboarding was just outside of my realm. And so you really helped me, put something in place for him that I think was very valuable. So just wanted to give you my verbal testimony.
Well, thank you, Brenda. And I'm sorry I'll miss you at PDC.
Me too.
Anybody have questions? Well, Paige, thanks for letting me share today. And I'm excited to see those of you who will be at the conference.
Yeah. So thank you, Terry. I appreciate just all the work that you do to help us all be better, and to help all of our chamber folks. For those of us who have been in it for more years than we care to count, and for those who are just entering this amazing world, I think you just give us some amazing tools that we can share. And so, with that, again, I put the link in the chat to our website, where if you would like to purchase the program, you certainly can through the website. I saw one purchase come through while we were on.
Oh, good.
So yay, thank you. Okay, Laura, I wasn't going to call you out, but yay, Laura. Um, she has purchased it while we were on today. So
Awesome.
but really, it is just an incredible program, and so good, particularly for onboarding, as Brenda said. But as we always do, we will share this, talk about it Tuesday, um, with all of our membership. You guys can go back and rewatch or take, that'll give you a chance to grab those QR codes. Obviously, anytime you can visit Terry's website. To get the programs that she talked about. So moving on, just want to remind you guys that PDC, I think most of you on this call are already registered, but call your friends, call your neighbors, because registration is going to close really soon, and it's coming up. We are less than 30 days away. So room block will be closing soon. Registration will be closing soon. So if you are planning on coming, please go ahead and get registered. If you see that your friends and neighbors are not, please have them register. Also, it's never too early. I know most of you are probably already thinking about 2026, and Carla and I are too. So we are excited, and you guys have seen the announcement that executive leadership will be with our friends in Huntsville um, in April, and that is April 27th, I think. I can see the calendar up there. So the very end of April next year, we will be in Huntsville, and we are super, super excited to be in the Rocket City. But then also you're gonna get soon kind of a survey just asking you what topics that you want us to cover on our Talk About It Tuesdays for 2026 as we begin our planning. So with that, Carla, I think you're still here. Is there anything else?
Not that I can think of.
Okay, very good. Well, with that, I thank you all for everything that you do every day for your community, for our state. I'll be in the great Commonwealth of Kentucky with our friend Amy Cloud next week for her Kentucky Chamber Execs conference. She's asked me to come up and speak to them. But other than that, I'll be here and ready to see you guys in October. So thanks. I hope you guys have a great day. And Terry, oh,
We
Brenda.
have a regional, don't we have a regional meeting on Thursday?
Well, we will talk about that.
Oh,
Yeah, we
okay.
may be postponing regional meeting because there's not a lot of you that can come. So I will be in touch with those of you that signed up for the regional meeting to see if I can just come visit because I like one-on-one visits. So it's a long way to come up to Millbrook, but I might can find my way up there. All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate you, and we will talk to you soon.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.